if you're going to take away one thing from this video, versatility is key. So I'm just recording a Patreon video right now, and I just answered a question from Sonia, one of my Patreon community members, about where I want to travel this year. And well, here's what I said. Where will your next trip be? Okay, well, let's look at reality for a moment. I think it would be fiscally irresponsible for me to. It's much smarter for me right now to keep that money, basically. So in light of that, in light of the fact that I might not make it to a Greek island this year, I thought I would give you my tips for traveling Greek islands, some of the things that they don't tell you about Greek islands if you've never been before. And I guess I wrote these tips down last year when I was on some Greek islands. I assumed that I was going to go again this year. So I'm going to give you my top tips for packing for Greek islands, okay? Listen up. If you're traveling to a Greek island, it doesn't matter what budget you are traveling on. You're going to have to get a ferry at some point. You're going to have to maybe go up some medieval stairs at some point. There are Greek islands where an Uber will not get you to your accommodation because you've now reached the medieval township and it's just stairs from there, right? So it doesn't matter what budget you're traveling on, you need to pack light for a Greek island. That would be my number one tip. Either pack in a carry-on or a backpack, basically something that you are able to carry. My second tip to you is always, well, I mean, anywhere really, but sure, let's apply this to the Greek islands. Always travel with a travel capsule. So a good sized travel capsule is maybe, I don't know, 15, 20 items, depending on how many you can fit into your suitcase. That's enough for me for a few weeks. Basically, there needs to be common themes. So the idea with a travel capsule is that most pieces work well with each other. You want every piece to match or work with every other piece. Basically, a little narrative with common color themes, style themes. So there needs to be an overall narrative. I'm going to get cold on the plane. So for me, it even comes down to things like knitwear that I know that I won't be wearing on the Greek island, but that I know I will be wearing on the airplane on the way there. And I want to be able to match that with some of the things that I would actually wear on the Greek island, right? So for example, if I'm going to wear white pants on the Greek island, I want a sweater that's going to work with those white pants. So always pack in a little capsule. It really is a shortcut to always looking your best. I would never put yourself in a situation where you get to some island and suddenly you realize you don't have the right thing to wear. I mean, I spend a crazy amount of time preparing my travel capsules, and every time I travel, I feel pretty good about my wardrobe. So that's my tip. One more clothing packing tip, always bring a scarf or two to a Greek island. And I'm talking about a large scarf that you can use like as a sarong, as a wrap. There's just so many different things that you can do with a sarong. Never travel with a towel, like a beach towel. If you do happen to have a big sarong-like scarf and you do find yourself desperately needing to jump into a Greek island beach water, and then you've always got that scarf with you. So I already mentioned that you pack in a small suitcase or a small backpack, which obviously means pack light. Avoiding fabrics that are heavy, you are avoiding things that are really solid, that take up a lot of space. And I don't know if you know this, but on most Greek islands, you cannot drink the tap water. So you will always need to have at least a liter of water with you. Always leave space in your luggage for water. It's only bottled water on most Greek islands, my friend. Every time I've visited a Greek island, I've seen people stack it in the streets. I've seen, stack it. I'm going to translate for you if you're not Australian. Stacking it means you trip over, you fall over. I always see people stacking it on Greek islands, and it's always women, and they're always wearing gorgeous little sweet flimsy sandals or heels. And most Greek islands have uneven surfaces to walk on, whether it's cobblestones or some sort of rubble. It's very rare that you're going to find yourself on a Greek island with a perfectly smooth sidewalk. So you always need sensible walking shoes. My top tip is white sneakers. I love this pair, the V Prime sneakers from Vivaya. You can use my discount code to get them. These are the shoes that I brought with me to some Greek islands last year, and they were amazing. They're lightweight, washable. And the reason I say white sneakers is because a lot of the time we associate the Greek islands with dressing in light colors or colors in general, and white sneakers are just like that really easy basic to anchor all these light things. My final tip to you for Greek islands is never ever, and actually this is when you're traveling in Europe in general, never ever do videography or take photos inside temples, churches. I find this to be so disrespectful. Even if you're not of the same religion, or even if you're not religious at all, I just think it's a disrespectful thing to do, to walk into somebody else's place of worship or meditation and start acting like a tourist. Never do that. Don't be a jerk. If you really love the way the little church looks, get footage of it from the outside. I think part of being a responsible traveler is that you respect people's customs, you respect the local cultures. And now's the time in the video where we thank today's sponsor, Squarespace. Everyone's always complaining they don't have enough time. But let me ask you something. If you did have that extra hour a day, what would you do with it? Perhaps you can find the time to finally put your ideas out there. Are you trying to actualize your dreams of making a living off your creativity, starting a business, or perhaps changing career pathways? An hour may be the difference you need to divide your life from the before to the after of when you actually started what you wanted to do. And getting started with Squarespace will cost you nothing. Right after you finish watching this video, why not head over to www.squarespace.com and start your free trial. Squarespace will offer prompts to help you establish which of their stunning templates will be best suited to your endeavors. These templates can be further customized to create something uniquely yours online. Squarespace has a user-friendly interface which does not require you to know any sort of a programming language. And if you do enjoy your free trial and you would like to get 10% off your first purchase of a website or a domain name, all you need to do is use the URL that's on the screen right now. A massive thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring today's video. So if you know anything about me, you know that I prefer to have a smaller wardrobe. Now, granted, she's bigger than she used to be, but I still want to keep things within a certain limit. And well, actually, lately I have been going on a bit of a journey of sort of making things more concise again. So in my wardrobe transition, I've had to really change up the rules. How do I maintain a smaller wardrobe while still enjoying myself? So let me give you the 3 top ways I think I been doing that. The first is definitely to have a plan. And at the very least, I'm thinking the sort of the season ahead. I recently posted a wardrobe reset video. In that video, you can kind of see a bit of my method for doing this. Now, the second thing I definitely do when I'm bringing something in, it's one in, one out. If I am going to add a new item in, why is it, like, what is it adding? You know, why is it better? One in, one out. The final thing that I do is probably the most important, and that is to think of my wardrobe in outfits or capsules. So I never really think about buying individual items. Every time I go shopping, every time I add something to my wardrobe, I'm thinking about what will this thing work with now? What will this thing work with in the future? And lately I've been playing around with this black and white theme. Probably shown you this set before. It's this white cotton set from Deji Studios that I purchased a little while ago. The first reason I got it was because I wanted to complete and upgrade my summer capsule wardrobe. So in this scenario of going to a Greek island, I really wanted some crisp, nice white pants with some sort of a matching top. It goes with another top I have. And the second reason for this set is the pants. I love a pair of white pants or a pair of light colored pants in the wintertime. Something happens to me in winter, I want brightness. So I thought I would play around a little bit with some outfits. I do this sort of stuff on Patreon all the time. Actually, quite a lot of these outfits are from a Patreon video that I posted a while ago now. So this outfit is pretty simple. It's a lot of fun. This is a body from Ozma, discount code on screen now. I'm not sure if they still sell this piece, but regardless, the discount code works across the whole range. So I thought this tight-fitting top was a nice feminine touch to these pants, which, let's be honest, I mean, they're dad pants, aren't they, really? They do read as quite masculine. Now keep in mind, it is definitely winter, so I've layered it up with this very simple coat that I have. Now the second look, if you follow me on Instagram or TikTok, you'll be familiar with, because this is literally my favorite coffee look at the moment. I can't tell you how many times I've already worn this. Same pants, white sneakers for practicality so I can walk to my coffee, black turtleneck. The turtleneck is probably about hip length, so what I like to do is I like to tuck it under my bra. That's my little hack for making things look cropped. I am a person who has a very short upper body, so most things are not cropped on me, even if they should be cropped. So I mentioned that I really look at the whole narrative in my wardrobe whenever I add something new. But something else I like to do is make sure that things I'm getting are kind of trans-seasonal. It's not always possible, but a lot of the things that I have can be worn in different seasons. Well, the white set is a perfect example. And I also have this awesome black boob tube set, which I'm sure you've seen about 1,000,000 times at this point. But I was trying to figure out how I could utilize it in the winter months, because it does feel quite lightweight. It's made of viscose and obviously boob tube, so it's not the warmest of things that I have, but I want to be able to dress it up and wear it in winter. So I thought it'd be fun to try it with my black merino turtleneck underneath. So I think the trick with layering knitwear is to make sure that the knitwear is a little bit sheer and tight fitting. I think if this was like a really thick turtleneck, this look would not be as good. The sheerness really adds something to it. And for those of you playing at home, all of my sheer merino turtlenecks are from COS. I don't know, I've been buying them for years. They're so good. They come in different colors every season and they're just amazing. If you hand wash them, they will really last you a lifetime. So something else that I really love in my wardrobe is this amazing Y2K pant skirt thing. This is a genuine Y2K piece. I picked it up, pre-loved. I was pretty excited when I found it because I actually do remember these sorts of things being around in the early 2000s. It's basically a pair of pants that's low cut on the hip, and then you have this sort of skirt segment in there. I wasn't too sure how I was going to style it. I was a bit worried I wouldn't be able to style it, but I think I just decided to pick it up anyway because it was such a cool piece. This one was a bit of an impulse purchase, as I guess a lot of secondhand pieces would be. I've been trying to find ways to style this in my wardrobe in a way that makes sense to me, and obviously it's quite a casual look, and when I think about people who wore these in the early 2000s, it was, yeah, pretty casually. You would wear this sort of thing with a boob tube, maybe some sandals. I wanted to be able to make it look kind of spicy because it is a lot of fabric on the lower part of the body, so it does have a lot of volume about it. It's a little bit tricky to make look good in the winter months. So one thing I have tried is to wear it with the body that I already mentioned. And I think this is a really cute, simple look, and the body does exactly the same thing here as it did with the white pants. It just makes it look a lot more feminine. The bulkiness of the bottom doesn't seem to matter so much when you're wearing something lower cut on the top. I think it's just a nice way to style it. And these ballerinas, I cannot tell you how much ballerinas have become such a part of my styling life. I think I used to feel like my feet looked really small when I wore little ballerinas, and now I'm just embracing it. I'm like, yes, I have small feet. It's fine. It's cute. The ballerinas are here to stay. I think getting the little fancy pair of ballerinas has really made lazy clams so easy. And the final look I wanted to show you is how I could style this pant skirt for the evening, keeping in mind it's winter. So I have worn it with a boob tube and a leather jacket. I wore the leather jacket just because I needed to break up some of the black, but realistically it's so cold lately that I probably would just wear this with a proper coat. I've gone with my Diamante earrings, my sensible black lady shoes by Vivaya, my Diamante bag. I like the versatility. I like the versatility of my clothing. The more versatile your things are, the easier it is to keep things in your wardrobe narrow. If you're going to take away one thing from this video, versatility is key.